start. Okay, so hey guys, I'm Aegis, and with me is at least Anticipate.
Hi.
Hi, yes, this is a 3v3 we just played with another friend of ours. I don't know if he's in the call too, but I don't know if he's gonna say anything. I'm over here as the Red Protoss player, and allies Mule, Peasant, and Japok, Anticipate's troll account.
Yes.
Our opponents
Yes.
a Breville G, orange Terran player, and his allies, Gazooks and Chi
Cheat
Chi,
sheet.
which in Korean means
Titties. Yes.
no, it's piss, right?
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't think it's piss because you say Chi.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
what little kids. It's what little kids say to their moms when they want
Okay. Okay.
just
All right.
nibble on
So
there.
in Japanese, it means piss, right?
Let's see.
No, in
Anyways,
Japanese it's also boobs.
The
Scouting
games.
Worker is headed out now, and this game is kind of interesting, kind of long for a 3v3. I'm going to open up the production tab, but if it does get long, I'm going to go ahead and close that up, because it is 6 players all at once. And at the beginning of this game, I was thinking that I would go for an Immortal all-in. It doesn't really show, seeing what I did after this.
Yeah. We've been doing this thing where I usually go, like Siege expands, and then they like do like a 4 gate or something. But this game, we decided to start it off with the progress,
Yeah,
and as you can
so
see here, yeah, we blocked it off with the pylons. So like when our workers get here, we can cancel it and try to kill that worker.
kind of failed, because you're going to
Yes.
see in just a second, I was trying to run back to block that from going down, and the supply depot does come up, and the probe does continue to scout about here, but he is trapped in. And I think these two other SCVs end up harassing a probe over here and killing it off.
Yeah. We try to pull off as many probes as for the purple guy. I mean, we didn't get to scout him. We
Uh-huh.
went double gas. If you saw that, would have been like DTS, but we're so focused on this. And this is a part where we get this guy, because Zux is gonna lose a probe. There it is. Very nicely done.
Yeah. So those two SCVs killed off a probe over here. I do have to point out that my macro is really bad when I'm trying to micro a probe. So I decided to throw down a Nexus. Does this SCV see it? No, he doesn't. So the orange player has no idea what's going on right now. He sees a gateway building inside of a base, and he must be like, this guy is either really bad, or he's doing something really stupid. Okay, so factory coming up. Anticipate. What the heck were you trying to do here? I don't remember what the plan was.
For me, it was gonna be like siege tank expand. That was what it was gonna do.
Uh-huh.
I think I do end up doing it, but it's just kind of funky because you get in like desperation mode.
You know,
And I was
Gazooks
hoping to get a
is totally going DT right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why his DT rush ended up kind of like throwing us off a bit, and we'll get to see if it does any damage soon.
So I have my second gas up, but not running, and over here a Briville is going for 3 racks, so he's probably going to be going... Well, he didn't go all in, so I'm not sure what's going on over here. These two Marines are coming across the field, and he's going to take a poke up at the front with this bunker. He's going to possibly pick off the SCV. Down it goes. And Mule Peasant just going to be building up his first command center, going for a nice long macro game. I've got my natural up and running. A couple of probes going to be mining over there. And the problem with the other team right now is that they have no idea what's going on. Chi Chi is expanding. He's basically doing what I did, but a bit slower. So they're going to have to do some damage in order to get back into this.
Right. So these guys have obviously have no clue. And actually, if Orange did scout that, the game might have been different. I feel like
Yeah.
because they might have just went into all in mode at that point.
Yeah, he would have done his actual 3 racks. Over here, Gazooks. His Dark Shrine is about halfway complete. And as you can see, none of us really have any detection except for the orbital commands. And I'm going to be going Robo now, just kind of blindly. I do like Colossus a lot. So I'm going to be going for those Colossus. Japuk is throwing down his engineering bay. He has it up, possibly to do upgrades, but I thought you were going a little bit mechy.
Right. Oh no, I remember in the game, I thought the guy was gonna banshee me,
Okay.
Orange. I had a fear that he might banshee me, but it ended up kind of working because the guy DT'd me and I had a turret ready.
Okay.
So it ended up pretty good.
So over here, Chi-Chi is going to be warping in a couple of those stalkers, as well as he's got a couple of those sentries out on the field as well. So on my side of the map, I'm basically going the no unit build. I have a single sentry and a single stalker, and my robo's warping in, and there's going to be a robo bay. I remember doing this. I was like, I'm going to rush Colossus and forget units entirely.
Hmm.
This is 3v3 for you guys, you know. Everything works.
Yes, and mind you, this is master level play.
Yeah, we got
Quote
into
unquote.
we were ranked 2 after this game in the Masters League of 3v3 ladder, so kind of tells you how good players are, if you could even use that word.
So on my screen right now, Purple's coming at 4 DTs and he's inside our bases.
Yeah, I've got 2 DTs in my base, and he's going to be killing off a couple of these workers. Does look like 3 kills on this guy, 4 kills on the other, and these 2 DTs will sneak in back, and it looks like, ooh, wow, they killed like 10 workers here. So those DTs were very effective. That's exactly what they needed to do to be able to get back into this game, especially with them not expanding early on. Orange now only getting his natural expansion saturated. And is that a block off? I think he's a little bit far away.
Which base are you talking about?
Orange expansion natural. It looks like he's a little bit far away from the minerals.
Yeah, I think he might be like just 1 line off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely 1 whole line off.
I'm just telling everybody right now, Orange was definitely the downfall of this game. He lost the game for him. Well, you guys will see later. He's gonna float like 3k minerals.
Oh man, that's the worst. Japuk actually anticipate now throwing down his natural expansion. There's Mule Peasant going to be throwing up his Siege Tanks up at the front, and more supply depots on the way. And over here, Brivol, or the orange player, is throwing up his refinery as natural expansion. Gazooks very far behind, going many DTs as well as a bunch of Zealots. This does tell me that he's going to be going Zealot Archon.
Right, yeah, we definitely predicted that as soon as we saw the scan. And as you can see here on top, we're making this nice huge arc, and that kind of ends up kind of saving us in the future. And also for Aegis, like his positioning just worked out so brilliantly that he stayed there because he was able to expand and just be safe the whole game.
Like, I like to be expanding and safe. Anyways, the siege line here is actually immense. But again, our purple player over here, he is going a pretty good build actually against what's happening over here. He has the charge lots. He's going to be going Archon, which will be able to tank some of the damage. It's also a very good build against Colossus. And as you can see, their army is really large right now.
Right. I feel like if they, saw our defenses earlier and had a good idea what's going on, they could have, definitely attacked us earlier and broke our tank line.
I think they don't know what's going on.
Right. Like, if you see their vision, like, they don't have any clue what's going on. Well, neither do we, but we play very defensively. I remember in the game, I was like, alright, let's play really defensively.
Yeah, so I've got my War Prism coming out. I don't use it to harass, because that's not my best thing to do. I usually like to expand, so I'm going to pick up a probe and go ahead and take the expansion over here by the island. I think there are 2 island expansions on this map. I'm going to go ahead and take this one on our side, and it looks like a couple of pings going down anticipate letting us know that the army is on its way. I'm going to be going Void Ray, because those are actually quite good against Archons.
Yes, they are. They're also good at Colossus. Colossus can't really attack.
Imagine anti-air Colossus.
Right. And it's one thing to know about this map for anybody is that Aegis's position, although it was pretty safe until this point, if the orange Terran was any smart, he could really abuse that by just sieging there. You'll see later that he's gonna siege up there, but he doesn't really take, he doesn't really drill at it like as
He doesn't take full advantage of that, nor does he ever knock the rocks down. So he kind of sits there and does like almost no damage. He takes out like 2 pylons, I think. But we'll see that later on. And of course, their army is actually really big right now. They haven't really done much in terms of economy. As you can see, Gazooks has no probes in his natural expansion. Chi-Chi is doing okay, but he's not really making probes anymore, and he's not really saturated. And on my side, of course, I'm a little bit oversaturated as usual. More Colossus and Void Rays on the way. War Prism was also out. I'm kind of using it as a forward pylon in the siege tank line over here.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think that's really cool to do. You know, a lot of Protoss just make, just standard pylons, but I feel like just mobile pylons is definitely better for such a mobile army like
I've been
yours.
seeing that a lot more often in these games right now, and there's the orange attack on the base over here. It's gonna be able to take out at least this gateway here, and there's the Void Ray almost dying to the Marines as well. Here comes the Stalkers returning back home. Seashank's doing a lot of damage here to the Stalkers, but does Orange back up out of here, or does he lose his entire army? I can't quite remember.
I'm not so sure, but at the same time, Yellow's pressing up against my tank line, and this was actually a very scary moment for me because I did not have enough,
Oh yeah.
and we survived by teeth, and I believed in ourselves.
That was so close. I think we were on call in Skype, and it was quite loud. And Chi-Chi,
Yeah, I was yelling
Yeah.
just everything at the point. Actually, Purple's army was out of position. Had Yellow and Purple came
Yeah.
together. I
Purple
might
is
even-
kind
I
of
think I-
smashing his army into a tank line here. He's losing a lot of zealots over here, and here's my reinforcements coming in. It looks like those units will get cleaned up, but Chi-Chi is remaining with a couple of these Colossi. He does have 2 upgrades finished. It looks like I'm only just starting those upgrades, so I'm a little behind on the macro here. I do have the Void Ray, so that's a little bit of an extra tech over what Chi-Chi has, and over here Orange is taking the gold base. I believe that's also a few hexes off over here.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's definitely one space off, and I guess he's just a terrible
He's afraid
player.
of the mineral
I-
patches. They may cause problems in the future.
He's getting ready for Heart of the Swarm. I don't know, in
Yeah,
some way.
I don't know.
It's like, oh my god, the mineral patches are gonna have standard attack.
Yeah, if you take gold mineral patches, they do damage to your SCVs.
Before you get a PF up, it actually does damage to you.
So there's I
Seriously.
finally throw down more production facilities. I'm actually floating like 1k minerals, which is absolutely terrible, and my army is like 3 stalkers and 3 colossus right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we were just trying to, I think both sides were trying to get
Yeah,
control
so
in the middle.
idea
Because this
on
map,
this map is that you have to set your tanks up on the high ground here. Once you get that
Right.
high ground, you have a really strong advantage. There's a couple of those tanks getting sieged there by the Colossus, and my Void Ray is moving forward as well. I think they might have gotten taken out. No, they actually survived. So what Orange just has to do here, he just needs to keep scanning the high ground. If he keeps getting stuck over here with the medevacs getting taken out. So this is the prime position on this map. I'm also going to be dropping this location soon, the gold base, as Anticipate says. So my war
Right.
prism is on the way.
yeah, I believe I pinged there to check if he expanded. He did end up expanding. And one note about Orange's play is, again, why he's a downfall is, while he has the tank siege down there, he could have threw down maybe like 2 more factories and just really went for a tank push and got the upper ramp too. Because if they had got these 2 positions locked up with the watchtower, they can have a really easy entrance to your base, or like my gold or something like
What I
that.
really need to do is hotkey my robo facilities. I have 3 robo facilities and I'm unable to spend 3 bases of money. As you can see, I'm not spending my money right now. And there's the little drop doing some damage there. It looks like a couple of those SCVs get away, but a ton of damage is being dealt by Mule Peasant right now. The SCV is even getting into the fight after the fact. I'm warping a couple of stalkers over here, but those will get taken out relatively quickly. A couple of zealots in here as well, doing a little bit of damage, but not too much damage dealt here at the gold. And here we are setting up a very strong position on the high ground. Purple has quite a bit of Zealot Archon, but what he really needs to do is get a really good angle, and there's a bunch of Hellions actually doing some sacrificing action here.
Yeah, I was trying to. One thing I forgot is the blue flame upgrade. I might have done a lot
Yeah.
better, but I was just trying to bait the zealots to the
Yeah, if he
Colossus.
had baited those
but-
those into the Colossi range. Oh man, that's gonna be a disaster for Purple. That goes half his strategy.
The game might have just ended right there.
So as of this point, we've
So
got this high ground advantage. Mule Peasant is going full out Marine right now. A couple of Medivacs hanging back home. I've got an idle Void Ray as well. And Orange is forced to defend his gold base with 2 Siege Shanks, and it looks like another army is pushing up to the bottom of my ramp, but it does look like I have 3 Colossi all ready to go, and the Colossi, as you might know, are quite good.
yeah, they pretty much kill everything. So they're pretty good.
And Purple is getting ready for a little bit of a push here. He's got all of his Zealots at the ready. He's moving up to this location. He's going to be able to clean up this one Banshee by Mule Peasant trying to harass that pylon over here. And the Sea Shanks on the bottom here actually still be able to do some damage as Orange has managed to get a couple of Marines up onto the high ground. And there's the engagement with all of the Archons coming forward. He's going to, this is the place where I was yelling at, anticipate to siege up. And the Colossi have wiped away quite a bit of the shields here. But it looks like here comes the engagement once more, and the Archon's leading the charge. And on the other side, it looks like Mule Peasant is going to be pushing forward against all these Colossi with pure Marine. I don't know if this engagement is going to go very well for him. There's the huge swipes by those Colossi, all of the Marines now falling, and the Colossi also getting killed off by all of those Vikings. The Purple army is completely dead.
Right, so like the Cold War, you know, the Iron Curtain did end, but there was 3 distinct engagements here as I traded with Orange, and you know, Red just demolished, Aegis just demolished that army, and that Teal's engagement with the Colossus, I feel like it was actually good because it totally cut, you know, Yellow's, you know, Colossus number off, and I think that's what kind of won us the game here.
Yellow actually has 3-3, and 3-3 Colossus versus 2-2 Colossus. It's just not a fight. And am I even getting the upgrade? I'm not getting anything. I have 4k minerals and I'm not getting anything. That's absolutely terrible. But it does look like Yellow is going to be going for a counterattack against the base over here of Japuk, or Anticipate actually, and he's going to be able to do a little bit of damage here, and we're going to be pushing forward with a vast majority of our army, so it's going to be going into a little bit of a base trade situation here. And it looks like we might be able to trade a little bit quicker, especially no planetary fortresses in this location.
Right, that center location with the 2 naturals really close. Feel like coming as soon as we have the bottom ramp controlled, we can just drill it. Because also with the, you know, we have the Colossus advantage and the tanks. So at this point, I was pretty sure that we were gonna win. So you know, I was just yelling, you know, drill that area, drill it now.
Still floating 3k minerals, but it does look like we're gonna be able to crush through Orange's base here. He's got that one Sea Shank on mass repair, but just not quite enough. The Colossi getting surrounded by a couple of those Zealots, but it looks like they will melt it completely to this huge Sea Shank or siege line. It's not really siege tanks. And here comes Yellow's army, going to be retreating back home, going to be finally trying to help his allies. This probably would have been a much closer fight if he was back at home and instead of trying to kill off that base over there.
Right. As soon as, you know, what triggered like me to just say that drill the area was that he was trying to kill my planetary, and that was pretty much, I thought, all their forces. So it would just end up being really good for us, and Orange was terrible.
Orange is still having some money. And there's the DTs trying to rush forward, but I do have an observer in range, and it looks like the Colossi, actually they have more Colossi as of this point, but the Sea Shanks is doing so much damage. Those Stalkers are actually going to make the fatal mistake and blink forward. That causes them to clump up a little bit more. The Sea Shanks able to do a ton of damage. These Sea Shanks have huge amount of kills here, as well as the Colossi with 25 kills, and this game ends with them starving out of money essentially.
Right. And also, Aegis, you had the 3rd island a lot longer than anybody else did, so that really ended up, you know, helping us in the macro game.
1,300 minerals. Well, I didn't mine too hard off of this island. I should have transferred more probes, but I guess my APM not so good. I even have unopened gateways over here. That's terrible. I need to play better.
Right, but overall, it was a pretty good game. You know, we outmaneuvered them. And I think, you know, the army positioning and middle control is just is good for us.
That was actually quite a good game. we just able to maintain that center controls the entire thing about this map. This map is really rush prone, which is why I really wanted to showcase this game, because nothing really happened in the early game, except for that little bit of probe harassment. So this is how you play macro on
Right.
this
And the
game.
DT cheats. Let's talk
Yeah.
about like composition. What do you think will be the best composition to have as a two Terran and Protoss? Would it be like just both guys go
I
bio or both
really
guys go
feel like
mech?
having a little bit of mobility on this map is a good thing. Um, Possibly using
Yeah.
Hellions if you're going mech.
It's
In that case, always remember to get the Blue Flame upgrade. And having center control with some
right.
kind of siege unit is always really good. So having Colossi up there, having Sea Shanks up there is always a good thing. But we don't necessarily have to go for a really big, heavy composition. As you see on this map, there are quite a few ledges. Really easy to hop into main bases with Medivacs, or even Reapers in some cases. These bases are actually really far apart from each other. So having Reapers on this map is actually going to be pretty good in general, because Reapers just able to have that mobility, especially with later on in the game going Marine, Marauder, Medivac, able to do some dropping, which this team didn't really do. So unfortunately,
Yeah. The side bases are definitely easy to
like
abuse as
really
drops and
abusing the
everything.
positions where I was at, or where Anticipate was at with the blue base over here, and on the other side also abusing the yellow player as well as the orange player. The one downside to that is that you essentially leave the center player untouched, and when you do that, if the center player is actually a pretty good macro player, you could risk, well, the game.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's pretty good game, and
Yeah,
I
so
think
I
that's it
hope you
with the
guys enjoyed
analysis.
that. I'm going to be posting more games later on, and I'll see you guys next time.